it's kind of clear and objective that the students will need to jump over before they get a high school diploma, or is it going to be pretty subjective and just really basically all the students are going to be handed a diploma?
It will not be subjective. There will be a specific bar the students will have to reach. We believe, quite frankly, that the ACT is, I have been unable to understand why this approach was not adopted initially. The ACT is a well-researched test. It has a long history of validity and reliability studies behind it. It allows us to compare the performance of our students with students across the country. It cannot be gamed. It is a test that has great credibility. Secondly, it's a test that our students need to take as they prepare for college. And states that have adopted the ACT have found, for all of their students, have found that there is an increased enrollment for higher education. They believe it is as a result of that. So we think this is hugely defensible. I think the ACT is a much more thoroughly researched, understood, respected, and credible examination, quite frankly. And so we can kill at least two birds with one stone. We can have a test that allows us to measure the performance of our students against students across the country. And at the same time, we can provide our students, free of charge to themselves and their families, the ability to take this test, which many of them would be required to take if they plan to attend higher education.
Okay, but these other things, the senior project, a community service project, students are going to need to do those.
Absolutely.
Do them well, or they will not get a high school diploma.
Absolutely, absolutely. End of course exams. I believe the grant makers group had suggested end of course exams. We think that's a good idea, and we have embraced it. But we also believe that there's a need in our culture, in our society, to stress good citizenship, community involvement, and that this service learning that we are going to stress, we are not considering it inconsequential. We think it should be very consequential, as well as a senior project. And that senior project may, for some students, be a written thesis. For others, it may be a science project of some kind. But we consider all four parts of this assessment to be significant and necessary. Well, as I said, you will get more specifics about that Monday, but let me say that this is a very tough budget. Some of our agencies of state government are going to be funded at 80 to 90% of current funding levels. We have a state government, I believe, with approximately 3,000 fewer state employees now than when I became governor. We have developed this Ohio Government Accountability Project, or plan, that we are working on. Our goal is to become increasingly efficient and effective. And in doing so, we will save resources, and I think we will make ourselves perhaps better to even better serve Ohioans than we are now. But we have received, through this stimulus package, some significant resources that were specifically designed to help the states during this particular fiscal crisis. And without trying to toot my own horn, I think the part of the stimulus package directed toward education was an issue that I initially raised with the President-elect and my fellow governors in Philadelphia. And we continue to pursue that. And I think it's a good part of the plan. and it will help us during this particular time. But the evidence-based model that we have presented as our plan for reforming and transforming education in Ohio is not contingent upon us continuing to receive infusions of federal stimulus money. As I said, I believe that we have crafted a path forward that is credible and that will be explained to you within the context of our complete budget, and that will be done. That will be done on Monday. But the beginning portion of that, as I said, will infuse in this budget an additional $925 million. What we have said, what we have committed ourselves to, was the states assuming a larger portion of the total cost of a quality education, and that quality education will be determined by evidence. And we have carefully constructed the Ohio evidence-based model, and we have committed ourselves, I've committed myself as governor, and I am hopeful the legislature will commit themselves to moving forward.